No way. I've just realised, have I been talking all this long and my microphone was off? Thank you for like. Sometimes though, if someone doesn't let me know, um, all right, microphone is now fixed. Okay, microphone is fixed. Hey, Desi Marketer, that's my fault. Sometimes. Hey, Catherine, see this button here? That sort. So sometimes, accidentally, if I've just adjusted the microphone, I accidentally click the button. It's very sensitive. In some way, I'm not happy about that button being there. It would have been better if the button was actually a proper button. Click, click. But hey, that's just the way it goes, right? So what I was talking about, even though I was silent, was client literally just emailed me to say code snippets plugins not updated. And I went in and updated it within seconds. And I'm going, look, don't worry about it. If your plugin doesn't update, your website is still operational. It's just a plugin. And it might have been your server. In fact, last night I lost close to 4 hours because her website, directory website, stopped working. Could not. If anyone wanted to join her website, they couldn't. And I spent 4 hours creating fake accounts, logging in, testing this, and everything worked except this one little bit where you have to pay via WooCommerce. And then my brain went, bing, she uses Bluehost, and the Bluehost caching was affecting WooCommerce. You do know this, right? If you have caching on your website, it can affect your Bluehost, not your Bluehost, your WooCommerce when you get to the cart and checkout. Because the caching can put like an imprint, you know, a virtual imprint, and it can stop the WooCommerce from knowing there is something in the cart. You know there is something in the cart, but WooCommerce goes, there's nothing there, because it's got an imprint from a point in time. So I took off the Bluehost plugin. It was like, I hate it. I hate the Bluehost and GoDaddy plugins they put on there that restrict websites. I hate that. Cheers, Jimmy. Yeah, it is getting better. It's still not, I think I'm 90%. Still a little bit croaky. So anyway, the client, I took away the Bluehost plugin, put on a different caching one, stopped it running on, I think it is WC_sessions. I think it's WC_sessions. By doing that, the website now works. Hey Carapace, Desi Marketer, previously you mentioned some CSS plugin that we used to play. Yeah, sure, Desi Marketer, I can tell you here now. I use this nearly every day, right? And it's free. It's free. It's so good. I love it because you know what? I'll build a page and I go, I want to do something different. And then I quickly go to this plugin, look at the page, rearrange it, get my code, and away I go. Some people say it's a bit like cheating, but hey, the whole of life is cheating. And you're going to learn CSS somewhere, so this is a great tool to do it on. Apptip, can I make Elementor template for Woo attribute? Elementor Pro doesn't have that option. No. So you can do it for category. That's the name of it. Site Origins CSS. Desi Marketer. I've just typed it. So it's Site Origins CSS. No, the microphone's fine. The microphone is fine, RT. Look. Got it? So you can do categories. RT, are you watching this? So I'm just telling Arteep to jump ahead because he's obviously watching from a point in time. So jump ahead, Arteep. You got to jump ahead. Jump ahead. So for WooCommerce Attributes, you could do a category page or a shop for the category, right? But then your attribute would be on the page, so you might need to use a plugin like Themify, right? Themify, free plugin. You can then show your attributes. But I don't think you can set a shop page up for attributes. If you can, you can. I'm not sure of it. Yeah, cheers, Arteeps. What I was saying is WooCommerce categories, you can do that. Like have a page for categories. For attributes, you can't really do that. So what you need to do is you need to no, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Hey, Andrew. So WooCommerce categories you can do as a page, but the attributes, I would use the Themify plugin to add in a filter. So you can filter so you click Adidas and it will automatically go Adidas, Nike, Reebok, all of that. So that's what I would do. So you could have a category page and then you would have the attribute inside. There probably is a way to do an attribute shop page, but free and easy, I'm not really aware of any. So I won't go to town on explaining how exactly you would do that because I'm not sure. But you could do category, Themify, and then have your attributes as filters on the page, like that, and that will do it. By the way, in case anyone wasn't aware, I had a really bad throat last week, lost my voice. I'm recovering, about 90% there, a little bit croaky still. But I hope everyone's all right. I've gone in circles right now with someone trying to explain to them about the differences between Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and Google My Business, and obviously the rank math bit. And I've just gone round and round and round talking to them about it. And like to the point where I've literally have to like spoon feed them exactly what the differences are and what the benefits are, but they just don't get it. Oh, we want reviews. We want to let people leave Google reviews, but we want to have the power to delete them. And I'm a bit like, why would you can't do that. Where's the honesty and integrity? If you're going to say you can leave a Google review, but we want the power to be able to remove a negative review. It's a bit like, what? No. So RT, the plugin, the plugin you should use is this one. The plugin you should use is this one. It's called Themify. Also, I do have a video on how to use that one, RT. So just hold on. Let me get you the video. Right. Yep, here you go. So here we go. So here's the video for Themify, right? And it shows you how to use it. settings and stuff like that. Yeah, Andrew, I saw your couple of questions you did about the WebP. I know what you mean about the fallback. I mean, it's I'm very gung-ho. I'm very much like, I'm all in. And if anyone can't see it, I kind of go, right, update your machine or your iOS or whatever. There are plugins. So there are plugins like WebP Express, I think it is, or Image WebP. There are plugins you can use, and they create the fallback. The trouble with those plugins is that they are not perfect at creating WebP images or really compressing them hard. And sometimes they fail. So you got 100 images, it does it, and then for 10 of them, it doesn't do it. So you'll never have 10 of your images WebP'd. And if those images are right at the top of your home page, it affects your page speed performance. So you got to kind of weigh it up. But I'm very gung-ho, as you know, Andrew. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using a plugin to do that as well. Yeah, Andrew, it's kind of like, it's trying to get people to understand that when you do the rank math, you need the Google Search Console to help submit your sitemap, to help get you found in Google and all of that. The Google Analytics is for the analytics, obviously. And then you have Google My Business, which can massively help you out with getting your website ranked higher in Google and on the Google map, right? That's the whole point of the Google My Business. But they are very distinct. And it's almost saying to people, look, you got to have the Google Search Console. If you want the analytics, you got to go for that. The Google My Business is always, I call, an optional, but it can massively help your rankings. Massively. Hey, Pro Media, how can you create a user icon in your account page? How can you create a user icon? I would just use icon. I would just drop an icon into the header. I would then just use like an avatar image of a, like the Cluedo of a face or whatever. And then custom width, positioning, however you want to do it, inline to do that. Is that what you mean? And then you would assign the icon to the account page. So the link for the icon would go to the account page. So very early on, Andrew, I used to do it under our account. Then you have too many on your account. And when a client leaves, you got the hassle of redoing it. So now what I say to my clients is, you either give me your Google login details or you set up a new Google account, which is just for that. So you make the decision. So I now do it under their account. And even if like we are hosting them or we doing a maintenance package for them, what I do though, and this is how you work with transparency. I say to them, we're still going to go in and do the review and look at the stats and everything. However, it's your account. So if you ever leave or you don't want to use us, you've got everything under your account. So you are protected. Do you know what I mean? So they feel like, okay, and it's basically what I'm saying to them is, look, if you're not happy with the analytics or whatever, you don't have to use us. You're in control. And so when you say to a client, they still have a bit of control, ownership, because I make them own their domain and hosting. We don't provide that for them. They own it. And if they own their Google, their Search Console and analytics under their account as well, they own it. They sometimes feel a little bit more secure, whereas I continuously warn clients, be very careful if the web developer or designer or the agency buys your domain and your hosting, because they then own your website. Yes, they could transfer it, but in reality, they own your domain and your website. If they go under, right, are you going to will they transfer for you? So I try to protect them a little bit, and also I have heard stories where someone's business took off. They were making tons of money. And then the website company went, right, because you're getting so much more visitors, you've got to pay £1,000 a month. There was no justification for that. Even when it came to the domain renewal, oh yeah, the cost of your domain, because your domain is now worth £20,000, you got to pay a big chunk. No, you don't. Because you just pay the domain renewal cost. The domain is only worth a lot of money if you're selling it on or someone else was buying it after you stopped renewing it. But some people can be quite sneaky and clever. Hey, Mark, can be quite sneaky and clever with the whole domain hosting. So we always say to our clients now is you buy it, you own it, you're empowered, you own it. And if you fall out with your host provider or your web developer, you can go your separate ways, but you're kind of secure. Yeah, when we first started, Andrew, we used to host because it was always hosting a client was seen as recurring income, right? But the hassle it brings with when the server goes down or the emails or whatever, it's such an issue, isn't it? Yeah, email issues, like you just said. We had a client, we hosted them, but we hosted them on SiteGround, but their emails were still maintained by BT. And the amount of issues we had with the MX records, the text records, the A records, it really did my head in. So now we offer maintenance packages. So you're not hosted with us, but we are there to look after you. By doing a maintenance package, you kind of remove yourself a little bit from the fact that you are fully responsible now for solving the problem. Because in reality, if they are on a host provider, SiteGround or someone else, sometimes there's only so much you can do, right? And it's over to a third party. So you kind of protect yourself a little bit. And it is much more easier to manage than to sit there worrying about the number of inodes that are used on a server. That the emails are now really big and it's sucking up the server space and the image sizes. You know what I mean? Because we had one website that was a directory, and even though we put a plugin in there and loads of stuff, people were still adding images that were like 10 megabytes in size. And the website was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was like, I said to them, you've got to cut this down. In the end, I then said to them, look, we're still here for maintenance, but you're going to have to now take your website to another server. Either you pay us X amount or you don't. And I even showed them. I was really honest. I hid the names, but I showed them a table, a chart. And I showed them, look, when I put the mouse over, here's your website. Your website is 7 times the size of every other website. Their website wasn't even a Woocommerce, but they were still double the size of a Woocommerce store that had loads of products. And I said, look, this is a problem. You can't be paying this wonderful monthly fee when you're using up, 6-7 times more than what the others are paying for the same amount. So you either pay a bigger amount or you go to your own server. My God, the amount of times, Andrew, I've had to say to clients, can you clear out your deleted items and your sent items? And they go, why? I go, believe me, and I have to educate them. I go, if you're at work or if you're at your home computer and you don't delete your junk, you deleted your sent items regularly, you clean up your inbox, eventually your inbox, you're going to get a warning. And they go, yeah. And I go, well, that is the same for your email and your host provider as well. It is the same thing. And you kind of go, why did they not think of that? Yeah, Catherine. So, this is what's really funny, Catherine, right? So I actually tried out 2 plugins with them. One of them I know works really well, Robin Image Optimizer. And what it does is when you add an image, it basically, it compresses. But even then, the images were too big. And then we did consider it, like, can we stop it? The trouble is the owner of the website was up and down the country, so they're not always administrating their website, and it just became a bit of a taboo subject with, shall we stop them adding it? Because then he felt he lost the conversion of someone joining his directory. But my God, you know when people add Mark, I don't know if Mark is still there, but there was one website. The images, and I know why, it's because they had a proper high quality camera. The images were like 28 megabytes. I fell off my chair because I remember they sent this, they sent a WeTransfer download of loads of images, and they were like 28, 32 megabytes, and I was like, flipping heck. These images were brilliant if we were going to put them onto the side of a building, you know, just paint it on. Brilliant. For about that big, 300 pixels wide on a website, we didn't need that. And I remember when I was trying to convert them, they were massive even after conversion. And then what I had to do, and this was painful, I had to manually go in, resize all of them to just be like this big, go from like that to be that, then convert them. And then they were like about 150 kilobytes from 28 megabytes to 130 kilobytes. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. But yeah, my advice is like, if you have a team of people who are going to just focus on the hosting side of things, you know, the upkeep, the emails, the inodes, all of that. If you're going to have a team do that, then going down the hosting route isn't a bad idea. If you're only ever going to have 5 websites a year, again, not a bad idea. If you're going to have regular clients, then I definitely wouldn't do that because it becomes a real big hassle. Yeah, so here you go. So the question that's just been asked about conversion compressed images, watch that video. Just gave you a video, Anurag, here we go. Oh yeah, Catherine. Hey Indipre, Pro Media. I'm using the Hello theme in Elementor Pro. Can you add custom fields like text fields? Can you add custom fields like text fields in your product page, or do you need an extra? When you say custom fields, though, is it going to be a custom field per product? Because I could say, well, why don't you just add it into the short description? But if you are going to do a custom text field into a product page, then yes, you would do the single product template. So on the single product template, you would then add in your text, but that will be shown across every product on the single product template. Is that what you mean? Is that what you're referring to, Pro Media? Let me give you a video that will help you with the single product as well. Okay, so just in case you want to go ahead and do that, all right? Does that make sense, Pro Media? Single product template. You can add what you want. If you add text in, no, it's for certain right. So if it's for certain product categories, then you may need to do an advanced custom field. So some best WooCommerce themes. I'll tell you the best one to use. Hello. You just need hello. I can tell you now, yeah, advanced. I don't do a lot of ACF, advanced custom fields, and I would definitely recommend, if you really want to get your head around that, you need to watch WP Tuts, his videos on ACF. He's got some really good videos on that. But it's basically an advanced custom field that you'll have that will be visible. You drop it in and it will only be visible for the products or however you've set it up. But for Anurag, you only need hello. You only need hello. Yeah. So hello. I mean, if you want an off-the-shelf template or theme, right, then there's loads of places you could go. In fact, I'll tell you now here, Anurag. I seem to be giving you a lot of videos, Anurag. All right. So Anurag themes. Watch that. Andrew. Oh, GMB, you mean Google My Business? I had to think about that. I was going, GMB? What's he talking about? What is that? You mean Google My Business? Yeah. So Google My Business is one of the more guaranteed ways of shooting up the Google search rankings, right? Because you end up on the map. There's a higher chance that you're going to be on page 1, a much higher chance. That's what I was thinking, Mark, when he said GMB. I was like, why is he talking about Good Morning Britain? That is literally what I thought. I was reading it and going, why would Good Morning Britain be doing white YouTube posts? Yeah. Is it because if someone searches for I don't know, dentist near me, they always get the map pop up, and it will automatically work out where you are, and it puts the map, and the Google My Business will show you on the map, and you'll probably be in the top 5 search results like that. No, there's no Google My Business. You can't. There's no video, but it's really easy. You Google My Business. You go over, you register, you give them your address details, you give them your website, your opening hours, your contact number. They send you a postcard after 1 week. You enter in the verification code they give you, and then that's it. So Google My Business in Dupree. I haven't got a video on it, but it is so simple. It's really easy. You can't go wrong. It tells you what to complete. You give them a logo. You do all that. Yeah, sure. Go for it, Andrew. So Anurag, I've just given you a video. Canva is what you need to use, right? So Anurag, I want to ask you a question, right? A lot of the questions you're asking are good questions, but it does sound a bit like you're learning. So can I ask you, are you a web designer, a freelancer? Where are you on your journey with web design? Because you are asking good questions, but it also sounds like you're very early on with what you would use and where and how you would use it. So whereabouts are you in the journey? So it seems like we had someone who was spamming a bit, and I've now blocked them. Okay. Yeah, so you're learning. And so Anurag, how old are you? Where do you live? How old are you? And how long have you been web designing? Where do you live? How old are you? And how long have you been web designing? Oh yeah, Andrew, Rank Academy. I think I know which one you mean there. So if you can tell us that, Anurag, it will it helps me to or us to understand where you are on your journey. Quite a lot of questions coming in on Facebook at the moment. 19 India, and you started your WordPress design journey 4 months ago. Okay. So my advice to you would be is to play, experiment, play around with Elementor, WordPress, get used to what you can and can't do. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How do you like to build websites? Use Hello, use Canva, Elementor Pro, obviously. Don't just use Elementor Free, because then you'll use loads of third-party plugins and you will kick yourself when you have your website go down because of incompatibility or an issue. So Hello, Theme, Elementor Pro, play. You got to play around. You got to play around and see, can you build stuff? In fact, the best advice I can give you is, do you have your own website? If you don't have your own website, start building your website. Start building your website, because then you'll understand more about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Use Canva to get the images you're going to use on your website. Think about your narrative. Think about the services you offer and stuff like that. So I'm just replying to an email, a message, sorry. Got someone who keeps asking me questions on Facebook at the moment. And I'm getting to the point where I feel like saying to them, right, unless you join our Mastery membership, I'm not going to answer any more of your questions, because they won't let up. Catherine, on hosting for a while. Does that mean you're sorting out your hosting? I'm not sure I want that, Mark, because I tell you what, you'll just have continuous question upon question upon question upon question upon question upon question. So I've told them, here's the Mastery membership. This is what you need. If you really want that. So what someone's done is they've just sent me a link to a course they joined to learn about Elementor and WordPress and all of that. They said it was an absolute waste of time. And what I've gone back to them is yeah, but did you get any like one-to-one support? Was there any group chat? Who was the expert you were learning from? You know, and so it's kind of let me now be really vain right now. Okay, let me be really, really vain. If someone is trying to make me justify to them why they should work with me, I feel like I don't want to know you, because I feel like I've done enough with YouTube and Elementor and Facebook and webinars and stuff. If they are doubting if I am good enough to help them, I feel like I am not here to justify. I am not a salesman. I am not going to sit here on my hands and knees going, sign up, I can help you. For me, it's like, I think I've done enough. So if you want to work with us, join. Otherwise, I'm not gonna justify it. Right, yes, good point, Catherine. Right, not paying hosting. Yes, okay, yeah, local WP. Good. Very good. Local WP is a great way to learn and build websites with Elementor and stuff like that. But you're just building off your machine. You don't have to be on a host. That is brilliant advice from Catherine. Just got to give them, sorry, not give them. I've just got to send some screenshots off to someone. Sorry if I go silent. I'm just got to get some screenshots off here. I am coming back to the questions, I promise you. Just give me 1 more minute. Seriously, just give me 30 seconds. I'm really sorry. If I don't do this now, I will forget and then I will regret it. I'm nearly done. Last one. Right, cool. Sorry, back to the questions. Hey, Dave. Dave, any more from the Twitter lady? Because this will now make it a week and a half since you had the meeting with her, right? Any more tweets? Yeah, agreed with Mark and Andrew. So yeah, I've now told that person enough. If they want to work with us, they can do. Because what I don't like is this person has said they've bought 2 WordPress courses and they are really dissatisfied with them. And I've gone back going, yeah, but who were the people? Did you have any contact with them? Was it just a video you got? You know, so... Oh dear, Dave, really? Oh, this is I think, Dave, this is where I really feel like if this was me in your shoes, I would say that I've done enough to be kind and nice to them, and now I am going to put a tweet out there with her name in. You know, make sure you put her avatar name in, saying, I purchased this on this date and she has she has not delivered even after chasing, and then put down how many times you've chased. 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. I would put it. It feels a little bit like, you know, washing your dirty laundry in the open, whatever. I don't care. I would do that. If I've paid for something and 2 months later they still have not delivered, even after I've chased them, I would do it. To be honest, Andrew, I've not really used much of Zara or Elude. I haven't really used them much. What I would say is if you think the offer is good enough to pay for, go for it. If it's something you like using, go for it. To be honest, Andrew, I'm only going to be live for another 15 minutes because I don't want to overdo the vocal cords because I got the 5-day challenge, day 2 live chat tonight in 4 hours. So I don't want to overdo the talking. So Benjamin, when you say outreach, do you want to clarify that? Because there's many different ways of thinking about outreach, but when you say outreach, what are you thinking of? The most outreach I do is when I'm reaching to the fridge. That's my outreach. And even that takes a lot of effort and work. Hey, yesterday it was quite nice when I got told I was in the WP Weekly newsletter. So I'm just typing some stuff out. Hey Artif, how you doing? Good to have you back. I'm only live for about another 12 minutes. All right, so I won't be taking up a lot of your time today. Okay, Benjamin, right. So we don't do cold calling, number one. We don't do cold calling. Number two, we don't do adverts. Number three, we don't just send out cold emails unless we know there are people interested or looking for a website. Yeah, for the web design agency, we don't do cold calling. We don't do adverts. We don't just send out emails, oh, come and get a website built. No, a lot of our work comes from word of mouth or contacts and stuff like that. Yeah, like Mark said, people come to us. And in the world, there's a different mindset, okay? I can tell you now, in the UK, we don't like cold calls. When you cold call, you've lost a chance. All right, I don't know. Maybe other people in the UK will say no, it does work. No, from my experiences and from speaking to people in the UK, cold calling does not work. Adverts. If I go to Google or YouTube or anywhere and I can see it's an advert, I don't click because you're only there because you paid for it. And I get a bit funny about that. If your advert is really good, has a clear message, clear imagery about how you can help me or solve a problem, then I might be interested. But too many adverts, they're like adverts on TV. You don't even look at them when they come. You're looking at your phone instead at something else. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. Exactly. It was like okay, so I got a call from Sky and they wanted to talk to me about my Sky packages. And they called me and they were like, just confirm your name and postcode. Yep. Now can you tell us your password? I went, no, you called me. So there's a level of distrust as well. Even though it might be a real company, there's a level of distrust, right? Yeah, exactly, Andrew. Oh, God, those days, right? You kind of go, I'm busy kind of thing, Oh, yeah, but it's a special offer we've got, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, here's my special offer that you can have for free. Right? There's my special offer. I did that wrong, didn't I? It's meant to go like that. Wrong way around. So I just got to reply to this person, Elementor. Dave, have you? Have you done it privately, Dave, though? Have you done it privately, a private message or a public message, Dave? What have you done? Private or public? Private or public? What have you gone for? I mean, whereabouts are you from, Benjamin? Whereabouts are you from? UK? America? Ireland? Whereabouts are you from? Scotland? London. Yeah, I mean, you will see there's a lot of people on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere, and they always talk about how to get leads, how to get clients, and nearly all of them go down this whole cold calling kind of route, or advertising on Facebook with a specific video. Hey, Joe, how you doing, Joe? Yes, move downstairs. This is the new. Just realised my camera's a bit bent. Yeah, this is the new studio layout. Whoops, camera's shaking. We're downstairs, much more bigger space now. It's not as intimate as what we had before. It is more spaced out, but I quite like it. So back to Benjamin. There's, people, they say, what they sometimes try to get you to do is to exaggerate what your earnings are. Exaggerate how successful you are, how much you earn, what you can do, so people pay you because they want to learn from you, or they just want to work with you. I don't like that. I don't like the exaggeration route or the cold calling. I just think it's... People do remember when someone does that, lies and exactly, Catherine. They exaggerate and you can so see through it. But what you're better off doing is honest showcasing of your life, what you do at home or work, what you're building, what you're working on, videos. Catherine does great videos. You get those out there. And you try and interact and engage, because a lot of promotions and adverts, right, I see this all the time. Let me give you an example. Today on Facebook, there was someone advertising garden offices, right? And they put a wonderful image of a garden office on their Facebook advert. And they say that if you contact us, you will get a £2,000 discount. Wow, a £2,000 discount. They had over 60 replies. I kid you not, it was over 60 because they had loads. And they only went live, I think, yesterday. And they're in the UK, garden offices. And nearly every single one of those messages, because I clicked and looked at the comments, nearly every single one of those messages was... What's the cost of the garden office? The one that you've got advertised in that picture, how much is that? This company, when they replied, said, we will PM you. A direct message, a private message. We will PM you. We will PM you. Hold on a second. Over 60 people are asking the same question. How much is it? You told them it's £2,000 off, but we don't even know where we're starting. I will private message you. And it's a bit like, why? What have you got to hide? What have you got to hide? You got a garden office with the veranda and the lovely, lights and the doors and everything. Just tell them it is £10,000 and you get a £2,000 discount. What are you lying for? So there's forms of advertising where there is a lack of transparency and honesty. And the minute I detect that, don't even want to give him a second look. The only reason I gave this garden office a second look was because I was like, wow, they've already got over 60 replies, comments. But it wasn't all of them, but I would say 58 out of 60 were, what is the cost? What is the cost? What is the cost? What is the cost? Surely if you were a business, right, you would think, well, they're all asking the same question. How about I just put a comment in? The starting cost is X. Here's your discount. Like, as a web design agency, you wouldn't put an advert out there saying, hey, if you sign up today to get a website done, I will give you a 50% discount. A 50% discount of what? £100? £1,000? £1,000,000? What is the discount of? So I hate it when I see adverts where people put 20% off, but nowhere, even when you go to their website, nowhere does it say what the cost is. So you go, what is it off? Exactly, that's probably what it is, Mark, yeah. The engagement. I mean, it does, often you have to create a form of you have to antagonize a little bit. You have to ruffle a few feathers. But I was a bit like, just tell them the bloody cost. I bet they get zero conversion. Because what I found funny was, wherever they said, we will PM you, there wasn't a single like. There wasn't a single like for the fact that they've said to these people, we will directly message you. And I thought, because I wouldn't be happy. If that was me, I would actually go back and say, tell me the cost here. I don't want private messages. Tell me here. David, I'm just double checking. I don't know if you've disappeared, but did you message her privately or publicly? So privately, publicly. What did you do? Exactly, Mark. And it's just all... Hey, Stacey. So for me, when people don't give you the price, contact gathering, it's almost like, look, if you sounded really posh, they're probably going to charge you more. And I don't like that. I feel like you should have a transparent cost so you know what you're getting. Like with us on our website, we say, the cost for a website starts from £920. I don't care if you're rich or poor. The starting cost is £920. We're not going to go lower unless you're a charity. That's different. For charities, we are different. But rich or poor, £920. So I've just seen your comment, David K, about... I get what you mean, though. Where, you gone private because you don't want to attract a bad audience. Do you know anyone else who's used her, though, Dave? Do you know anyone else who has used her? So what you got to do, Indapri, is in this scenario, I get what you mean, Dave, but do you know anyone? Do you know anyone who has used her? Do you know anyone at all, maybe? Contact them, Dave. Why don't you contact them? Just say, look, I hope you don't mind, but can I check? Do you know, even though you don't know them, Dave, you could still contact them and say, look, sorry to bother you, yeah, but I signed up for this, but the tweet's not gone out yet. Can you let me know how long it was from the point of purchase to the point of the tweet going out? That's quite nice. It's not antagonistic. It's not conflict. You're just want to know how long it took. So in Dupree, if you're starting off, okay, and I will be cutting off in about 2 minutes because I don't want to be talking for too long. So this is where in Dupree, you might need to go down the Fiverr route or find companies close to you, or just try and Upwork. You might just start with you're going to have to charge very little maybe to get some basic websites in. You got to start somewhere and then you build up over time. But Fiverr, Upwork, there is no, look, I'll tell you now in Dupree, there is no magic bullet. There is no magic bullet for you to just have clients flowing in. It takes a lot of hard work. And even we go through periods where we got loads, the work is coming in and then it slows down. And we use the slowdown time to reflect. What are we doing? How do we do things? Do we need to improve on anything? Go away and do that. So there is no magic bullet. But what you have to remember is that nearly everyone on this chat right now had to start somewhere. Maybe you're building a website for a friend or a family member. I don't recommend that, but if that's where you start, do it. Then you might say to them, if you recommend me, I will pay you when the job converts into a website, right? So you got to start somewhere. Yeah, hey Jimmy, I'm going to be going off soon anyway. And by the way, everyone, Jimmy, I'm not sure if I pronounced your surname right. Tavere. He is an amazing graphical artist. Digital artist, amazing artist, and he did an amazing image of like a hot air balloon, but it was like it was a heart, but it was the way it was done. It was really good, but seriously good. Affinity, because I've never heard of Elude, and I wasn't sure about that, but I have to be honest, Andrew, I've used Affinity. And I didn't like it. And I would rather use Photoshop or Photopea or, Photopea. I didn't like Affinity that much, but that's just me. It was a great image, wasn't it, Jason? Super good. Right. I am cutting the live in 30 seconds. So anyone wants to say anything, you got 30 seconds. But you see, Jimmy, I think that's a great, you want to start advertising that, like, what would you charge to create a bespoke hero image for web designers? That's a great niche area. For web designers, bespoke hero images. Hey, everyone, take care. I've got to go rest my voice, have a cup of tea or something shit. I don't know. See you all soon. Take care. Look after yourselves, okay? And go and eat something. See you soon. Bye.